What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. You watched my last video, which was talking about my experience with miscarriage. That was a couple months ago, but we are pregnant again and I am super excited. I was really nervous at first, to be honest, until I got to my first appointment. My last two pregnancies, I never got as far as making it to my first appointment, if that makes sense. Like, the miscarriages had already started by the time my first appointment came around. So I spent those 2 weeks just trying not to think about it at all, which, if you've ever been through a miscarriage and you had a successful pregnancy afterwards, or a viable pregnancy, or just got pregnant again in general, you probably understand what I'm talking about. It's like, you don't want to get excited yet, you don't want to tell anybody yet, but you're also like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous about the pain of miscarriage again, not necessarily the emotional pain, because that's different for everyone, but the physical pain is something I was terrified of. I was like, oh my gosh, like, if it happens again, I'm just gonna go straight back to the hospital, because I've noticed that it gets easier after going to the hospital. So I just kept a bag by the door with my shoes and everything ready just in case. But I made it to my first appointment and everything was good, because up until the day of my appointment, just all these thoughts were running through my head. So it was really calming for me to go to that appointment. That appointment was at 6 weeks. So I found out at 4 weeks, because obviously we're trying to start a family. So I was keeping on top of all my symptoms, and as soon as I could take a test, I did, got a positive, and called the doctor. And that first ultrasound is so exciting, because I've never gotten to actually see them before or hear them. So that was a really big deal. I didn't emotionally prepare myself for that, because I was, like I said, trying to not think about anything at all regarding pregnancy. I was trying to keep myself busy. So it was very emotional, but it was very emotional in a good way. I was very excited. Then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm nervous to announce even still. So I decided to wait until my next appointment at the 8-week mark, which was normally when my doctor's appointments were. The last 2 times before this pregnancy, that is. Anyways, so I decided if I make it to the 8-week mark, then I will feel comfortable enough to post about it. So I'm going to show you my 6-week ultrasound. It's so tiny. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I gotta paint my nails again. I feel like I paint my nails super nice, and then 3 days later I look down and they're all chipped. It's really annoying to be a girl, a woman, whatever. Anyways, I made it to the 8-week mark, went to the doctor. We had a second ultrasound and they grew so much. I was like, that's a 2-week difference. I actually have another appointment in a few days, and I'm like, if this is 2 weeks, I want to see how much they change in like 4 weeks. I'm just really excited to go back and get another ultrasound. Find out the gender this month, which I'm totally ecstatic for. I feel like it's going to make it even more realistic. But before I get too far ahead of myself, when it came to announcing the pregnancy, we went ahead and did it at 8 weeks. And after I posted it, I was like, oh my gosh, what if something happens like after I post it? And then I'll have to tell everybody again, or just not say anything once again. I was like, that would be so embarrassing. People are going to be confused. But then I was like, I mean, everybody goes through things. Like, it doesn't matter if somebody else judges me for it, which I had like one person who has been a little nasty to me about it. I I don't know who it is because, I mean, if somebody says something or thinks something about that, that would just be weird. But I think, like, anyone else watching this, if you've been through that before, you kind of relate. You're just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to tell people if it happens again? But then I was like, you know what? Anything can happen at any time. Whether it's at 8 weeks, 8 months, when they're born, 8 years old, or 80 years old. Like, you can't predict anything. So I was like, I'm just going to let myself be excited and go with it. And things have been really well so far. First trimester is really tough. I have been so exhausted. Like, if you see me out in public with no makeup on and my hair in a ponytail, don't just pretend like you don't see me. I mean, that's not embarrassing. But before all of this trying to conceive journey, I would dress up for everything. Like, if I was going to Walmart, I'd put on a cute outfit just to go to Walmart, just because I love dressing up and getting cute. But now I'm like, you know what? A little bit of mascara and foundation, and I'm good to go for the day. Another thing is, at the beginning especially, I felt so nauseous. I didn't throw up. I didn't get sick. But I did feel really nauseous. Something that really helped me that with nausea is these Preggy pop drops that I got from Motherhood Maternity. They actually worked for me. I don't know if it's like the placebo effect or if it's legit, like it actually helps morning sickness. But for me, it made me feel better whenever I ate a few. So if you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, especially if you're in the first trimester or just dealing with nausea in general, these are a lifesaver. No joke. Another thing that I noticed, like symptom-wise, it just something that's been happening since I got pregnant again, is absent-mindedness, or aka pregnancy brain, like no other. I forget everything. I have to write everything down on sticky note and in a planner and in a calendar in my phone. I've been forgetting stuff places. I actually, funny story, the other day I lost my purse with my IDs and all my stuff in it. So I am in the process of getting that taken care of. I have no idea where it is. Like, I have searched my whole apartment and my car. I'm like, I just don't know. And that's been happening a lot, like with shoes and like makeup and just anything I can lose and forget and misplace, I've done it. So if that is you, please comment down below, because it made me feel so much better to know I'm not the only one that's losing everything and forgetting everything. I have to set reminders on my phone like 3 days in a row for appointment reminders. So like 3 days before it happens, I'll get a reminder, and the next day I get a reminder, then I'll get another reminder. It'll just keep reminding me for 3 whole days so that I cannot forget my appointments. Seriously, if you have went through that same thing, comment down below, because I need somebody to make me feel a little bit better. Tell me an embarrassing story about yourself, because I need to hear it. We have already picked out a name for a boy. If it's a boy, there's a few names that I kind of like for a girl, but it's not set in stone yet. So I'm not going to say it in the video. I'm going to keep that to myself, like what the names are, until we find out the gender, and then we'll announce the name. But seriously, I don't know what I'm going to choose for a girl. So I'm kind of trying to find a name that I love before I find out the gender. But then I'm like, I'm probably going to spend 5 hours trying to find a girl name that I love. I'm going to find one that I love, and then the baby is probably going to be a boy. And I'm like, hey, I spent 5 hours trying to find a girl name. And I could have just waited to spend all that time doing that. Being unproductive is normally not me, but first trimester, it's been me. It's been very hard for me. Well, not really the past 2 weeks. It's been getting a little bit easier. I'm only a week away from second trimester. But especially in the beginning, in the middle of first trimester, it's like getting up and going to the grocery store would just wipe me out. I would be done for the day. I'd have to come home and lay down because I would be so exhausted just from doing that. And the reason, I guess, why you're so tired in the first trimester, because you're making your placenta. So that takes a lot out of you. That's really all for this video. I just wanted to kind of update you guys on the pregnancy because I haven't announced it on my channel yet. I announced it on my other social media, but not on here yet. So I wanted to give you guys an update, talk about what it's been like, and I definitely want to keep you guys updated throughout my journey. I'm thinking about doing a maternity clothing haul because I have a ton of maternity clothes, and we went to this big gigantic yard sale. It wasn't a yard sale, it was like a consignment sale the other day, and we got an amazing deal. So I'm thinking about doing some kind of haul video for you guys, and then we could do like where I show you everything and then I tell you how much it was at the end. Spoiler alert, you're gonna be shocked. I have a couple more really cool video ideas, so make sure you subscribe. I have more conspiracy theories coming your way along with the pregnancy video. So if you want to hear more of that, make sure you subscribe down below. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up.